So, what do you mean by political?
By political, it's kind of like I said earlier, I used the word illusion. Some people call it a front. It's kind of a tactic that's been. You got to remember, political science is what I majored in. It's a science to politics, and you want to make it seem like you're doing things when you really aren't, and vice versa. Like for example, we have people calling Bill Clinton the first black president, when Bill Clinton might have murdered more African people than half the presidents before him, and even murdered half the African American or African diplomats that he had. And you could Google that. Just type in murders under President Bill Clinton. And but yeah, you have to play that role. You know, I have to shake the hands. I have to smile. I have to tell you that I got your back. When really, you never know what I'm doing behind closed doors. So it's all a political game. And on this level, you got to remember it's chess and not checkers.
On NIU's campus, who do you feel is doing the most for the African American community?
I would say it would have to be based out of all of the entities. It was a man by the name of Chief Grady who, for specific reasons, is not here anymore, political reasons, of course. But I would say the rest of it is based upon out of the Center for Black Studies, which is not a cultural building but an academic, different from the Women's Resource Center, Latino Resource Center, and Asian American Center for whatever reasons. And this can lead to a lot of different things, but I would definitely say the black organizations that's student ran, whether that's a BSU, that's a Move, Love, Sisters, Brothers, BMI, LMO, all these organizations, and even the Greek community who contribute a lot. Everybody plays a partial part, but it's all geared towards a community. And you got to remember that the community was broken apart for the African American. In 2013, we're still putting that back together. And we're still struggling with having a community because our common unity isn't common anymore. So we just got to be understanding that we all play a partial part and we all contribute to this, but we have to take care of each other.
How do you feel about the diversity on NIU's campus?
When I was working for the Student Association as a director, we actually did we took a poll and did some research to collect data, and it was overwhelmingly showing that people believe that NIU is diverse, but at the same time it's segregated. Very rarely that you won't walk into a cafeteria anywhere, you will see who's sitting with who, you will see who's going to whose events, you will see who is pretty much partying with who, and who's getting away with what. All that is a partial part plays a part in that diversity. You know, we promote diversity, but how hard do we really go at trying to make that a real pillar at NIU? You see Vision 2020, I don't know if a lot of people know, but the numbers with Vision 2020, the African American numbers actually go down. But I don't know if it's because they don't want us here, but is that because diversity is not a big thing for Vision 2020? But diversity plays a part because in 2013 we're going into a global kind of state for the entire every pretty much country understands this, and just got to be understanding that diversity is kind of a tricky thing. But NIU, I would call it another illusion.
Within the African American community, how do you feel? What do you feel about the structure, or the relationship amongst students that potentially correlates with the retention rate of who goes and who stays?
I think that boils down to two things. It's more variables, but I would definitely identify two, which is one, like I said earlier, that ability to adapt. And what really plays a part in that, I believe, which is other things, getting involved. A person like myself, what really helped me to make that adaptation was getting involved. Surrounding myself with positive people who had on the same journey that I was, that understood my vision and was going to the same place. So that really helped me. And you understand that all the people who gets involved are usually the ones that make it. Those who stay disconnected from the community and disconnected from the campus, some make it, but the numbers show that they are a lesser ratio.
So, what would be your advice to incoming students or students that are on campus previously or currently? Something to keep them here, something that will motivate them to stay here, or something to avoid.
I would say one thing is definitely do not be afraid to change. You have to be able and willing to adapt. When the giraffe had a neck like the horse and it saw it needed to get a longer neck, over time it got a longer neck. If we realize that I'm hanging with someone that is not going in the same direction I am, I need to go ahead and part ways from it peacefully. But pretty much my advice overall would to be get involved. It goes back to that quote by Brother King, but to build your character as well as get that education, but get that knowledge from and that overall development outside the classroom. And one wonderful way of doing it is getting involved and being of service to your community.
Well, any final remarks? I'll come to the closing of this interview. I thank you for your time. You had some wonderful insight. Anything you'd like to close with?
Nothing specifically, but just know that I can't go more in depth on several of those topics. Just know that I am of service to the community and that I'm willing to show that that mechanism of divide and conquer is no longer a strong stance because of people like myself and organizations that I'm a partial part of, and that I am of service. And if you need me, reach out again. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to continue, but I kind of gotta